This is the Top Fin Silent Stream 10-gallon filter. And I'm just going to show you what I do to modify it to maximize all of the space in a more cost-efficient way. So the first thing we do is get rid of the cartridges that come with the filter because they just eat money, they're not very efficient, and they're full of carbon, which we don't even want in our aquarium at this point. So we're just going to replace that. And the first layer we want the water to go through is the coarse sponge. It comes like this, and you just cut pieces of it off when you need a new one, and that way it goes a lot further for your budget, and these last a really long time. And you can customize this however you want. If you want more layers or less, that's the beauty of it. So you'll see I start out putting 2 layers of the coarse sponge in at first, but at the end I end up deciding against that, and you'll see why at the end. And the next layer I put in was this biofoam, which is just a finer sponge to catch the next size of particulates that the coarse sponge passed on. But you could even skip this part. I added it as an extra layer of protection since this is going to be a pretty crowded quarantine tank that we want to keep extra clean. And the third layer is going to be the filter floss pad. This one really gathers the smallest particles and pulls them from the water. The other 2 layers get rinsed and put back, but this one will always be the dirtiest and will actually break down pretty quick, so you'll just replace it each time. And pro tip, go ahead and cut yourself out a bunch more pieces of this that are just the right size, so you don't have to use a wet, dirty sponge as a template in the future. So just go ahead and cut those out and put them someplace that's easy to grab, and you'll just be glad you did. It's generally a good idea to use a little more of this, so I went ahead and put 2 layers. And the last part is totally optional, but I needed some extra biological filtration that I could seed with good bacteria and move to seed other tanks and start the nitrogen cycle faster and easier. And there was some talk in the fish community that lava rock also did a good job of really polishing the water column. And since it's something that I already use in some of my plants, that makes it even more convenient for me. So there's lots of things you can use for biological media at the pet store, but the truth is that you don't even really need it. So you can just skip it if you want. But if you do use it, make sure to rinse the dust off really well before you add it. And at this point is when I see that I've added a little too much, because you want the water to be able to flow over it. So I just decided to remove that extra layer of the first coarse sponge, and now it's able to fit perfectly. And the last thing I did was I added this coarse sponge over the intake filter. And this gives us an extra layer of particle filtration and more surface area for the biological cycle, but it also saves any of the much smaller guests in your tank, like babies or shrimp, from being sucked into the filter. So that is your basic steps to a modified filter that can be used with pretty much any hang-on back filter.